Labour caught pandering. Good morning, I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching. We all know that the Muslim bloc vote has abandoned the Labour Party, but Labour is labouring under the delusion it can claw this vote back, and this is why it is pandering to the reported or purported religion of peace. I have this from Basil the Great. He has stated online, Keir appoints a Minister for Islamophobia, a made-up word, reportedly to tackle hatred towards Muslims, and we all know it will be cracked down on any criticism of Islam. Makeshift title is the Anti-Muslim Hate Tsar. Labour is pandering to the Muslim bloc vote. Massive repercussions are expected. Let me get into a bit of the article. I want to say this very clearly before we get into the article. Islamophobia isn't real. It really isn't. It was created by a radical sect of Muslims called the Muslim Brotherhood, which is prescribed in many countries, and it's been outlawed in Islamic countries such as Saudi and the UAE, I believe. They do not tolerate extreme Islam. They do not tolerate it in the slightest. I've mentioned this many times on my channel. We have no filter on the Muslims that come through into the Western world because of our liberal, stupid elites. They don't see it as a danger. The issue is about 25% of all Muslims in the world are radicals. If there's over 1 billion Muslims at least in the world, and over a quarter of those followers are radicalised, that's over 250 million. That is a heck of a problem. This is not a phobia. This is a rational fear of a conquering and invading ideology that, in my view, has no place in the Western world. Now we're going to get into the article itself. The Spectator has been leaked a draft copy of Protecting What Matters, a document outlining Labour's new cohesion strategy, which is to be unveiled in a cross-government push next week. The 47-page paper features a crackdown on extremism and names Islamists as the biggest threat to community cohesion. Oh, so it's not the fabled far right? That's a turn up for the books. It also outlines fresh demands for new arrivals in Britain seek to integrate, speak good English, described as a fundamental basis for participating in society, and an expectation for those who wish to call the UK or Britain their home. It states those who come here must make a genuine effort to integrate and to engage with our shared way of life. The last census found that more than 1 million people could not speak a lick of English, or the report states that clearly that Islamists were responsible for 3/4 of police counter-terror workload and 94% of all terror-related deaths in the past 25 years. So not Catholics or Protestants then, the native religions of this land. The plan is also to reject calls predominantly from British Muslims for blasphemy laws in the UK. Okay, is it? Okay, we'll get into the next part of the article. Following the case of a religious studies teacher at Batley Grammar School who was forced into hiding after showing caricatures of the false prophet Muhammad, and the document promises to stand against those who try to intimidate, threaten, harass others because they are offended by the so-called blasphemy. We do not recognise blasphemy in the United Kingdom. Further powers will be established to close extremist charities, suspend trustees with unspent hate crime convictions, and to strengthen monitoring of non-violent extremism in universities, and to exclude all hate preachers from the United Kingdom. As part of this, there will be rules to ensure that the public bodies do not confer legitimacy, funding, or influence on extremist groups. So far, so good. Let's see what it finally says here. But the plans will also raise alarm bells on free speech by outlining the new rules to tackle divisive content and ensure trusted news sources are prominent. Critics fear that these measures will be used to silence critics of Islamists or even TV channels like GB News, with some Labour people view as too right-wing. The creation of a special representative on anti-Muslim hostility is likely to give a prominent platform to an activist voice. Their job will be to champion efforts across the United Kingdom to tackle hostility and hatred directed at Muslims or those perceived to be Muslim, alongside a definition of anti-Muslim hatred which has to be watered down to avoid defining Muslims as a race, because they are not a race. They are not a race, no matter how much they want to claim to be, but still condemn the prejudicial stereotyping of Muslims as part of a collective group with set characteristics to stir up hatred against them, irrespective of their actual opinions, beliefs, or actions as individuals. Critics say this will create a blasphemy law by the back door. This is the thing, and this is the thing that will confuse and alarm a lot of people. A lot of people will take this to mean that you cannot critique Islam and you cannot critique the extreme elements of the religion of peace. Yes, that is sarcasm. That's not the case, and you need to be very clear. A rational fear of the unknown is fine. A rational fear of an invading ideology and religion that you don't subscribe to is fine. This is what you need to remember. They want to confuse people, and they want to say that you cannot critique Islam, and you're not allowed to critique the ideology that is alien to Britain. All of this is false. All of this is false. What they will likely do is they will try to muddy the waters, and they will try to make people shut up. They want a chill factor, they want a chilling effect, they want to stifle an open discourse and clear debate. Any religion should be able to be mocked, any religion should be able to be attacked. The ideas of that religion should be able to be called out, which I'm doing here. This is Keir Starmer, this is two-tier Keir trying to win back the Muslim bloc vote, which has abandoned Labour. It's not going to work. It really isn't. The Labour Party as useful idiots until they were big enough in size and big enough in number to form either their own Islamist party, or in the meantime a new receptacle which is more attentive to the Muslim bloc vote's needs, which at this time is the Green Party. People are bigging this up online. People are saying that this is going to criminalise people. It won't. Not if you don't allow it to. You need to know your rights, know what you can and what you can't say, and always think of it this way. If you think you've done nothing wrong, the likelihood is you have done nothing wrong. If you have to think about it, think before you post. To coin a phrase. Alright? Just think of it that way. Now, if you like this video, comment, like and subscribe. You let me know, do you think that this is being done to try to silence dissent? Do you think they are counting on people not to know what you can and can't say? A phobia is irrational. Critiquing Islam is not a phobia. Critiquing Muslims is not a phobia either. That would imply that it is irrational. I want to see more from the moderate Muslims, the Uncle Toms, as Sadiq Khan would call them, in calling out the radical elements of their religion. No other modern religion has a problem with radicals within their ranks like Islam. This is what needs to be tackled, and this is what needs to be shown the door. I want to see all the moderate Muslims coming out and condemning any extremist actions in their ranks, but they seldom do. You'll occasionally get one or two that do, but that's pretty much it. Now, if you like this video, like and subscribe, do that great stuff. I will see you in the next video. Have a good day.